All right, guys, we are behind the scene in the green room. We are about to go live on stage to speak about social media impact. So we have a badass team right here, so we will share a lot of value. So stay tuned. Make sure to watch till the end.
Good morning, everybody. There we go. You know the social media channels will be bringing up a lot of content today. I am for MC for the stage temporarily and also the moderator of the panel. My name is Serge Creator. I'm the owner of Spotlight Social Media based out of Arizona and also on the SolarCon team. I'm our administrative partner. And we have 4 expert panelists for you today. We're bringing something to the SolarCon stage that we haven't had before from the viewpoint of social media. They have a very deep understanding of what's trending, how to use their social media platform to the fullest extent, whether an individual or a business owner. So without further ado, let's meet our panelists. Up first, ladies first, we have Katie Lavash, owner of Sassy Tangerine Creative, New York City. Next up, president of the Snapper Academy, Mr. Matt Wheeler. We have the owner of Rockwell Studio and SolarCon videographer, Mr. David Musa. No. And last but not least, the owner of Serge Creator Studios, Serge Creator. Good morning to the 4 of you. Thank you for being here. All right, they're going to be bringing a lot of fire to you today. I would highly encourage taking out a note-taking method or in your phone. We're going to give you a lot of applicable things you could do starting today on your social media. So we're going to have ladies first here. We're going to have Kaylee. And before I get to her first question, I want to take a minute to give her an accolade. I didn't tell her I was going to do this, but Kaylee is from Florida, and she just won Woman of the Year in the social media sector. Can we give her a round of applause? And not just that, for the 2nd year in a row. Congratulations. Thank you. Now, I'm sure everybody is here because we obviously want to use social media to extract value, right? And Kaylee has a lot of expertise spanning from film to media, but something that she's an expert at is monetizing from your social media. So if you're interested in monetizing off of it, this is your girl right here. So Kaylee, can you tell us, what are some ways that an individual or a whole business can monetize off of social media platforms?
I think monetization doesn't look like what everybody thinks it looks like. So a couple ways that would be especially beneficial for y'all is starting with influencers. And that is something that is probably underutilized in certain areas. But using affiliate links, so trackable links over promo codes, you can see how many people are clicking it, and then you're only paying out when a sale is made. So really, it doesn't cost you anything unless there's money in your pocket. That's an awesome way to monetize it as a business. And then working with other businesses in your industry. So teaming up and collabing with roofers, builders, realtors, window companies, people who can sell your product because they're already talking to these homeowners, they're already in there doing the work. I love that method because you're getting in front of an audience that you really didn't have to work for. They're out there plugging over and over, working with the same people you are. Why not work together and pitch this? So doing collab posts on social media, working together, reels together, education together, all of the things that make you the expert together. That's a great way to monetize it that I don't think a lot of people think about.
So thank you, that's great insight. I'm going to add something really cool really quick. Did anybody here happen to see the social media video we posted last night by show of hands? A couple of you did. So she's talking about collaborating. Collaborating with people on your post is a really strong way to reach an audience. And we just wanted to share last night, we spent, 8 or 10 minutes throwing together a video, and it got 12,000 views. We posted it last night at 9 p.m., checked it this morning. So collaboration is a really good way to expand your audience.
And that only took us, the 10 minutes was our concepting it and shooting it. So hardly any time at all.
From idea to execution, yes. You know, so now that we've talked about those opportunities existing, of course, creating the content to monetize or to extract value in some way is going to be the content we create. So I'm going to jump to you, David, because you are our beloved SolarCon videographer. Can we give David a quick round of applause? Woo! All material David, you have a level of expertise that is unparalleled. Can you share with the crowd here your thought process on what to record? You know, whether it's an iPhone or a professional setup.
Okay, so I feel like social media is your brand's identity, right? And making your posts is your opportunity to show off your brand's personality. So it's best to figure out what your character traits are for basically your personality, your mission statement, and then try to use those vibes to guide your videos. Depending on professional or a phone, I would say for a phone to be more about traveling, home stuff, on-the-cuff stuff with employees, just fun stuff that's showing off your personality. And then professional stuff would be more towards interviews, showing off employer excellence, and a couple other things like that. But let me let Serge develop on that one.
Yeah, definitely. It depends on different situation, right? When the main thing here is basically the content, right? It's whatever you're filming on, you definitely just need to capture it. And if you have an iPhone handy, just film it, right? And or if you want to have higher quality, okay, just work with the cameraman. But the main thing here is just to get the content, right? And don't worry about the what equipment to use. Just have it captured. So that's the main takeaway here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great insight. How many of you record social media content with your iPhone? Raise your hands. Most of us. Who uses a professional setup? A couple of us. Cool. Okay. Cool. Just checking the crowd out here. David, I'm going to expand with one more question for you. So, with creating that content, you're also an expert at which platform to share on. Can you elaborate a little bit on which platform and maybe why?
Okay. So certain platforms like Instagram and TikTok are basically set up for your phone. So it's really easy to upload and not have to edit too much. It makes it faster and more convenient. As far as professionals, let me see. As far as being,
Like I know you have.
Sorry guys, I'm a little nervous. This is my first time speaking on stage.
Woo!
Sorry about that.
Let's go, bro!
I'm usually behind the camera, not in front of the camera, so bear with me.
Sorry, I sprung that on a little bit. David and I had a really great conversation recently about platform purpose and how the ones he just named, Instagram and TikTok, a little more for the entertainment side. But then YouTube is a little more educational. You know, we go to YouTube with intent. We're looking for a particular question. And I know you're an expert on deciding where the content goes. Does anybody else want to expand on that too? Maybe not posting the same video on every single platform. How can we kind of expand on opportunities?
I find that it's best to try to use all the platforms, but don't put the same video across all your platforms. What you're going to do is you're going to try to put your long form on YouTube and then your short form on Instagram. And then if you have say a long form video that you want to be have more views, you would go to Instagram and then do like a call to action. Hey, go watch my video on YouTube. So now if you have a video that's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and I see it on one and I go to your next platform, I'm not going to watch it again. You know, I'm just going to keep scrolling. So you want to have different stuff for different platforms so you're engaged in all of your platforms, not just one.
You know, and one thing about all the different platforms is really just gauging the room. So you need to know if you're on this certain platform, what are people expecting to watch? So people go to YouTube, they can sit through a 10, 20, 30-minute video. They can sit through a Joe Rogan podcast that's like 4 hours long. But when I go to Instagram, I'm not going to sit through a 20-minute video. Yeah. I want 60-second hits. When I go to TikTok, it's the same thing. Now, a lot of the platforms, they are pushing that video limit higher and higher because people do like long-form content. But as long as you're gauging the room that you're in and you're giving people the kind of content that they want when they click on that app, that's going to be the right content for that app. So, yes, spread it across, but know that every single app has a different purpose and people have different expectations when they click that application.
Perfect, thank you. Hold on to that mic, Matt, because the next question is for you. So now that we know those tips, you are an absolute master at storytelling on social media. You're most well known for your work with Snapper Academy. He's known as Beeler, Mr. Beeler. Can you tell us what strategies or tips do you have, again, for an individual or business on storytelling and getting that mission across through social media platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's 3 steps that I've always used to tell the story that is me and Will's journey through this solar industry, and that's a guiding character, it's a new opportunity, and it's future-based results. So obviously our guiding character at Snapper Academy is Will Elliott. He's the one that's giving out the message and telling the story. The new opportunity is getting into the solar industry. So what we try to do is we try to build this window in the wall so people can see into the opportunity that is solar. Because really what it is you're trying to make people aware of what's going on in the opportunity that you're providing to people. And then the future-based results is what we all recruit on. It's financial freedom, it's personal development, it's where you're going to be in 10 years if you take the new opportunity that is being told to you by the guiding character. And so really, if you just break it down to those three things, everything is a story. Because a lot of people, they get on social media and they want to show you what they have, they want to show you what they're doing, but they're not really turning it into a story. They don't take those three aspects and fill them with the information that's needed to tell that story. And so as long as you have those three things, and it's the same thing in every single movie you watch, in every single brand. I mean, we have Gary Vee here today. He's the guiding character. The new opportunity is getting on social media, getting views, becoming famous, telling your story, getting your message to the world, and then the future-based results, that's what you're going to get if you take that new opportunity from the guiding character. And so as long as you touch all three of those points and you fill all three of those, you're going to have a story to tell. And then that story is going to be able to reach people. Because one of the biggest things nowadays, especially in the environment of social media, of the digital world, is that like you don't need permission to tell your story anymore. So you can tell it for free, you can post it for free. You don't need to go to like a TV channel or like a news editor and get permission to tell your story. You have permission to tell your story. And as long as you put that story out to the world, a good story will always find its way. So yes, you need to know about when to post, you need to know about the thumbnails, but really as long as you're telling a good story, your audience that does fit your demographic is going to find their way to you.
Taylor, that was amazing. Can you repeat that?
We recorded
It's
it.
so true. You know, we do hear that Gary Vee talks about all the attention is on social media, and at the end of the day, you are the content. They want to hear what you have to say. You might have a very saturated market or an untapped market, but get that iPhone out, record it, you're the expert, you're the content. So I'm going to jump back to you for a second, Kaylee. So you mentioned before that you had a film background, but I know that's not where your expertise is being applied right now. You have a little bit of a different role in the social sector. Can you share what that looks like?
Yeah, so I was a professional videographer for 15 years, had a full-blown company, mostly weddings, shooting 300 a year. Kind of transitioned out of that more into a marketing social media role, and now I have an agency in Florida, working with tons of tourism brands. But my skill set of video has translated into creating content. And the difference being is that when most companies hire a social media manager, their job is to do social media. They know the posting, they know the algorithms, they know what's trending. Their job is not always to create the best top-of-the-line content. And that's why it's important to have a team. Videographers, graphic designers, photographers, somebody whose expertise is in that arena to capture the content and tell your story the best. So keep that in mind that when you do hire a social media manager or somebody to help you with that, they may not be the best person to do photo, video, graphic design, whatever the case may be. I just got lucky that I transitioned into that and was able to take my skill set. But we're going to talk about why having a great team is important.
Perfect, thank you. That's such a great segue. So we're going to jump over to Serge. Again, like I said earlier, Serge is the one who creates all the content for SolarCon, so I want to take a moment and let us give him a round of applause. Serge, we love you.
Thank you, guys.
And what Serge does is truly in his name, Serge Creator, his legal name, Serge Creator. He owns Serge Creator Studios. Now, you are an absolute master at creating content, but also creating teams to deliver that content. Can you tell us a little more about managing the team? You know, what opportunities, who do we need? The floor is yours.
Of course. Thank you so much, guys. So basically, we created a lot of content here for SolarCon, as you saw, and basically how I was able to do that, it's basically because I put a system in place and put team together, right? So they can collaborate with each other. So in this, for example, SolarCon, there is like a lot of different people involved. For example, like graphic designer, social media manager, video editor, videographers, photographers, managers, and like many people, right? So they need a place where they can collaborate with each other as efficient as possible, right? For that, they need a system, right? So in order to put a team together, of course, there's like different tiers of teams, right? You can, you can have low budget team, right? Or you like have full blown team, production team for like big companies, right? So you can even start with one person team. It's basically just yourself, right? So if you don't have much budget, right, just start filming content by yourself. There's a lot of great tools and etc., right? But then when you start understand that like, oh, your time is more valuable, right? And now you need help, that somebody will be doing like video editing, social media management, etc., you start hiring, right? So if we will be talking like where to start, what first person to hire, right? So I would start with, for example, somebody who can help you to do the post-production, right? So the post-production piece, it's like the most time consuming, I think, because you actually can film content by yourself and then deliver this content to your team who will be doing post-production. So it's just more than enough, just one person who will be taking care of graphic design, video editing. Sometimes they can do even social media management and posting, right? But it's, of course, it depends on their skills. But when you want to level up, of course, you can start, probably next person could be like social media manager who will be kind of taking care of the social media management, build a strategy, write the scripts for you, like what shorts to film, what YouTube videos to film, right? When to post and stuff like that. So you can focus on building business, and the team of social media manager and video editor and yourself, it's already a pretty badass team to start building your brand and grow, right? But of course, when you're growing your business, right, you need hiring videographer, right? Videographer as well can be involved in just focusing on the production side. Sometimes he can be involved in the video editing, right? So we have graphic designers, so video editor can't do really good graphic design. Of course they can, but it's not really good, like graphic designer will focus, right? Yeah. So my recommendation, so graphic designer 100% very cool for the thumbnails, covers, like different graphics and etc. So it's kind of like adding cherry on the pie with the graphic designer. So huge thing, for example, for SolarCon, a lot of work we've done with the graphic design. So why SolarCon brand is so sexy and so cool, because graphic design involved there. Not only video, yes, video is very important, but cherry on the pie is graphic design. So to manage whole thing, right, we need person who will be, it's called project manager, right? When we have more than like 3-4 people, we need definitely as a project manager who will be assigning tasks, describing tasks for each person. Hey, graphic designer, you need to do this. Video editor, you need to do that. Social media manager, you need to write caption, when it's distribution, and etc. We need person who will be describing all the tasks and making sure that the production line is actually happening on time, right? So important step when we in our agency implemented this was QA, quality assurance. We underestimate quality assurance before. I was thinking, oh, that's okay, client will be taking care of the quality assurance. If they will complain, we will know, okay, that's fine, we will fix something. But of course, client got upset a lot of time, and they start like, the kind of energy was like not that exciting anymore. Oh, my team is like, oh, they're doing a bad job or something, right? So we taken care of like that QA was the final piece that we want to implement, that like client will be happy all the time. Like most of the time client should be happy, because this energy level this excitement level of the client is very important, because when he's excited, he want to like do next piece, right? So when QA is done, there is this distribution piece. So in distribution, yes, we have so many platforms, right? So there's like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Threads, like X, like so many different platforms, and every single platform requires their own format, right? So like long form content, TikTok shorts, there's thumbnails, text, caption, hashtags, there's like so many different pieces. So we have to make sure that the collaboration with the social media manager and distributor is properly set, right? So social media manager will prepare all the assets, but the distributor, he has only one job, just distribute content. So, and he is distributing properly with the proper format of the social media. So if it's not properly set up on the different platform, right? So then we will have less engagement, less reach, and etc. So the whole work in the pipeline can be missed because distribution hasn't done properly. So this is kind of like our pipeline in our creative agency, but there is as well a lot of different pieces. There's like, for example, creative director. When you have like whole team, yes, you have operations, right? But you need to have somebody like we'll be doing creative stuff, right? We'll be thinking, okay, what we're gonna film, what scripts we have, what the trending right now. They have to make a research, put the strategy together for you that you will follow, and etc. So creative director slash marketer, very important piece in order to do like, it's kind of like results-driven piece, right? When they will strategize what's your goal and etc. Right? So, and yeah, this is basically, if I didn't miss anything, so I think this is kind of like most important pipeline for the production team. So I hope it wasn't that long. Sorry, guys.
That was good.
So I just want to touch on that first hire thing because there's a term that I've heard a lot in this industry, and it's what I've used to build every single team, and it's what I call the unicorn. And so, like he was saying, you always want to find somebody that maybe can wear multiple different hats, and so it's realizing what are you good at and what are you not good at? What is the piece that you don't want to do? And so maybe you're the one that can record the video. You take out your phone, you shoot the video, but you need somebody to edit it and then to post it because you don't want to post it. Or maybe you don't want to post it, so you need somebody to edit it and film it and post it. And so it's really trying to find somebody that has those attributes and those skill sets that you can't fill because again, when you start your team, you don't necessarily need to hire 10 people. The goal is just to start, and you want to start at low risk. And so find that one person. So like for us at Stanford Academy, me and Will, we do really good because he can be the one in front of the camera. He can even film it sometimes. But then I come in and I can edit it and I can distribute it. And so it's really about finding that one unicorn that can wear multiple different hats and fill the voids that you have. And so you can successfully take that from an idea all the way to realization and having that content reach the world.
That was awesome, guys. I love that you touched on the different tiers, Serge. It's really awesome to acknowledge you don't have to have this crazy production right away. You can have a really small team, or even yourself. You can be the team when you first start, and that is okay. I love that. David, I wanted to ask you as the videographer, how do you work best with your client to kind of see their mission, their goal?
I feel like companies should have a real good understanding of what they want to put out there, who they are, and it really allows the shooter to enhance that. Another good trick is to look for a shooter who's already doing what you want, the style that they have already. You don't want to find somebody who does something really well and then ask them to do something completely different on the day of the shoot, which will cause a lot of frustration and probably a lot of delayed projects, you know? But yeah, it's pretty simple like that. Just make sure they are doing what you like already and that they can accept what you're saying and understand it, how to put it out there.
I love that. And then Serge, with your team, since we're talking about teams, how does your agency best serve the client? How do you communicate? What's important to make sure that content is getting out, stories being told, and that your team is working good with the client?
Yeah, sure. So we was actually talking with Carlson here, so it's one of our clients. So he was giving us a feedback. So guys, he was like, what the best about your service is communication, right? So what we've noticed that communication is the key factor how you can be able to deliver good service for your customer, right? So first from our side, we have to make sure that there is communication happening consistently with the customer. So we're trying to hop on the weekly calls at least once a week. We're constantly in the chat, in the Slack or iMessage, right? So we're replying fast response time, whatever they need, or we're giving them updates about what's happening, right? From another side as well, for us as a creative agency, right, to help to deliver better service for customer, we want, so how customer can help us is basically be in this communication, because sometimes customers are busy or like, yes, they like business owners and etc. But a little bit of communication will help us a lot to improve the service. So, and as well, communication included not only the channels of communication, but the actual what has been communicated. And this is like fill out the brief, answering the questions, right? So fill out the proper request for the team, like submit, sometimes client wants to build a spaceship or something, but giving us like a little bit of information, right? And we like sometimes like missing on the details and can be able to deliver the proper result what client expecting. So it's basically very important to clearly communicate and like deliver the as much details as possible to our team so we can execute. So I think, yes, communication is like one of the key factors in order to deliver high quality service for customers.
Yeah, awesome. I love that. Thank you, guys. All right, so we know some monetization opportunities, how to deliver some content. Now we're going to shift our conversation to some common questions in the social media world. We hear these buzzwords lately like going viral. What
what's trending, algorithms, branding, raise your hand if you've heard those terms. They're everywhere right now, right? We want to know what's trending. So Kaylee, we'll go back to you. Can you tell us kind of what are some 2024 predictions in the social media sector? What's trending and where are we headed? What's working?
What's trending? We all love that question, don't we? A couple things that I'm seeing is that we are shifting away from these mega influencers with hundreds of thousands and we're transitioning more to micro influencers. So technically that's under 50,000 followers, but I would say more than 10 to 15 to 20 to 25. It's really kind of the sweet spot now. And that's because people are craving authenticity. So they really want to follow these people that, you know, aren't working with these huge brands that's unrelatable. They want people that could be the, you know, the girl next door or their best friend or whatever it is. And so micro influencers is really where it's becoming a trend right now. Video is still leading the way, of course. We're going to see tons of reels. And with that, remembering we only have a few seconds to grab their attention when somebody's watching a reel and scrolling. So those first 1, 2, 3 seconds are really key of that video. So don't waste that. Hey, this is Kaylee, I'm here. No, I already scrolled by. So whatever the video is about should be front and center. That's going to kind of help get that as much reach. I think that's what got so much attention on our video yesterday was wondering what Heather was doing with the camera before they figured it out. Using keywords in your captions. So Instagram is acting more like a search engine now, same with TikTok. So they're really trying to pull out these keywords in your caption. So if you're struggling for something to put under a video or a post, think about what it's about, what you want people, if they're searching for it, and you want your video to come up, throw those in there. And, what I have one more?
Those are beautiful. That's
great,
yeah.
So we had an interaction at our booth the other day, and Will pulled up YouTube and he typed in solar sales. And the very first video to come up was ours. And they asked, how did you do that? And it's exactly what she was talking about. And really it starts doing the research. So you know the people that you're talking to, you know your demographic. Go and do some research about what they're searching for, and then put those words in your caption. Because Google is the #1 search engine. TikTok is the #2 search engine. YouTube is the 3rd search engine. So when you actually have that research and know what they're searching for and you put those keywords in there, you're going to have the top ranking video and the top ranking post because those people are consistently looking for those answers. So give them the solutions to the problems that they're actually searching for.
I love that. Good job, guys. Powerful. If you don't mind, I would like to share one little thing on that too. I love speaking about social media. I'm gonna throw one little nugget out there. So there's another great way you can tap into your audience and reach people is through your hashtags. Hashtags is actually a form of SEO through social media. And SEO is your search engine optimization. Now think about if you go to Google to search something, you typically are going to type in the niche you're looking for. Of course, we're going to use solar, for example, and most likely your location. I'm looking for a solar company in Arizona. Solar panels, Massachusetts, whatever. Solar company, Florida. You can incorporate that into your hashtags to be found by more people. If you just hashtag the word solar, it's going to go global to anybody who's ever looking up anything with the word solar. That could even be like the solar system and the planets, and that's not your target audience, right? So narrow it down a little bit and hashtag things like Arizona Solar Company, Arizona. Think about what your audience might be going to Google to look up and hashtag those phrases, and you'll be found more often on social media. And Google, primarily YouTube, but your social media platforms can turn up in Google searches if you're applying that little tip. So there's just a little nugget for you guys. All right, so we're going to bounce back down here. So Matt, you have an incredible social media profile, or portfolio, excuse me, and a skill set when it comes to branding, which is another hot topic. We know there's a very big buzzword around branding, and there's a difference between branding and marketing. Can you explain where that line is? Because it can be a little blurred sometimes, but they're truly two different things.
Yeah, I think that line is really blurred because it does kind of fall within the same realm of things, but there's a very key difference. So marketing is selling your product and branding is selling your story. And it's like what David was saying earlier, that your brand is your identity. And what a brand is a story of who you are and also who you aren't. Because really what you're trying to do with your social media accounts, with your branding, with all of the stuff that you've created, all of the assets that make up your company and your brand that people see on the digital world, its goal is to show people who this opportunity is for. It's to show people who might not be right for this opportunity. Because we see it in solar a lot. One team might be really, really energetic. They might be in the gym every single day. It's all about physical fitness. It's all about yelling. It's all about that energy. And that's really good for some people, but it's not great for everybody. Other companies, other teams, they're really about the spiritual side. They're really about the mental and personal development, and that's really good for that group of people. So it's really knowing who you are and who you aren't, and then putting that out there so people can understand it. Because if you don't attract the right people, they're not going to stay. But if you can attract the perfect person to your brand, they're going to buy in and they're actually going to get value from it. And so the difference there is really about telling your story. Branding is my favorite thing. So like I've been in this industry for 10 years, and a lot of people, they put the metrics on it when they hire like a videographer, they hire a company to put their message out to the world, and then they go, well, how many sales did that get? It's not always about the sales. It's about telling the story, and it's about creating a brand that cements itself in the industry for a lifetime. Because none of us are trying to build a company for 2 years. We're trying to build a company for 2 decades, for 2 centuries, for 2 generations. And so, really, with your brand, you want to let people know all of that information, because, especially with social media, like back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, you were trying to put out your message with this big commercial, with this big story, you have one time to land it, but with social media, telling your story isn't a boulder anymore, it's 1,000 pebbles. So every little piece, they learn a little bit more about you, and you don't have to do it in that one hit. So consistency is huge, telling your story is huge, because if people know who you are, they'll know if you're for them or if you're not.
I can add a little bit more on that. So in terms of branding, it's basically establishing communication with the people, right? Marketing, it's basically the campaign that like drive traffic and attention to your brand, right? But then if we will cut marketing, the brand will still exist. Yes, maybe not that many people will see it, but the brand is there. Even when you will show up on the event and do handshakes, they will still remember you and recognize you. Oh, I know your brand. How are you doing? And etc. So it's basically, the brand is about relationships. And as Matt said, it's about the story, right? So people want to know more about you. And then if you will be doing just organic content, stories, like don't put too much money into paid ads or something, your brand will still exist, right? The marketing piece, it's very expensive piece, yes, but you need to pour some money and like you need to strategize it, you need to think what the goal like for the next like quarter or something, how much money you have to generate and etc. But then when campaign stopped, that's it. So you will not drive most likely the money from this campaign, but if you have a solid brand, you still can have sales from it just by building relationships with people, because people will start recommending, recognizing, and etc. So the brand is about relationship, the marketing is about sales. So yeah, just want to add on that.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. I look at it like that too. Marketing is more micro. You put out a marketing initiative, and once you've extracted that value, you switch it up, right? And you put out another marketing campaign. But your branding is forever. That's what you use in every single marketing campaign. That's your identity. I love that. You guys are awesome. So last thing here, we're going to do a rapid fire question for everybody. I'm going to ask them what their favorite platform is and what draws them to it. They're going to give you a quick answer, and then we're going to give our audience a challenge right at the end. All right? So your favorite platform and why?
Mine has been Instagram for quite a while. It's where I spend a lot of my time. I'm moving more towards TikTok right now, but to be honest, I'm not trying to put all my eggs there if the government's going to shut it down. So I love the authenticity of both of those platforms, though.
So mine has to be YouTube. I mean, I come from a film background, so like I want some time to tell a story. I want some time to get through the narrative and actually express more than just one thing. I know short form content is like huge right now, and you can do that on YouTube as well, but like I want to tell a full-blown story because that's just where my creative process goes, and everybody's different in this industry, but YouTube is definitely my favorite.
I guess for me it's also Instagram. I like to shoot. I'm a professional shooter, but I like to personally shoot with my phone. I'm really lazy when it comes to my own videos, but it's also easier for me to do a lot of editing on the fly because I'm always on traveling and whatnot. So yeah, I just like that because I can also do my stories, and then I can have my reels sit there and just stay there for a while so people can check them out eventually.
Yeah, for me, definitely Instagram. So since early adoption of Instagram, like I was start using it, and like this helps me to gain my audience and establish relationships with people and do business just only from Instagram without any paid traffic or just by posting content. So Instagram, #1 thing for sure, but there's like Facebook as well. It's very important right now, especially for this industry, because there's a lot of communities there, like Facebook groups, right? So where people can communicate, get insights, share their valuable content, and etc. So I think these two platforms are leading in the industry, but of course more professional content. It's like YouTube and TikTok is great. I mean, every single platform is great. I think you have to be everywhere, but choose just one when you like spend more time with, right? Because of course it's time consuming, and just choose one and like interact with your audience on the best one you like.
Nice, nice. My favorite, I'll tell you, is solar fans. It's kind of like OnlyFans for solar. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I was wondering what kind of reaction I was going to get. I'm just teasing. Thank you, guys. So we have a challenge for you as we wrap up today for the audience. And Matt and I were kind of spitballing about some ideas, and Matt came up with a wonderful idea. It's something you can apply today to your social media to help you reach the audience. So we're going to call it Matt's Challenge. Matt?
All right, guys, so we all know Gary Vee's here today, and what is the #1 word that he uses most? It's, and empathy. It's about caring about your audience. And so one of the biggest things me and Will have done is we really focus on the value. How can we provide value to the people that are watching our content? Because it's cool to show them the flashy stuff. It's cool to show them the cars and the fun things, but what are they actually getting from it? And so what I want you guys to do, for those of you that are in here, is find a way to provide some value today. And it's really, really easy. Literally take out your phone at some point today and give one piece of value, one piece of education. It could be something you took away from this talk. It could be something you took away from any of the other keynotes. And just give a little bit of feedback on that. 30 seconds. And then guess what? If you don't want to do that, if you're not somebody that wants to be on camera, that is perfectly fine. Because there's so many people out there that are willing to give value for your audience. So if you're not the one that wants to do it, go find one of these amazing, knowledgeable people out there. There's some people right in the audience right here, and just say, hey, can I ask you a quick question? Selfie video it, record it, and then post it today. And then I've been doing some research, and I would love to fill up the hashtag solar media. There's not much on there. There's only 100+ posts, which means not many people use it. And so if all of us make a video, give some value, post that hashtag, I would love to see what you guys do, because it really doesn't need to be complex. It can be simple and valuable, and that's what's going to get the views. Because it's like what I said earlier, a good story is going to find its way. And so if it's a good piece of information, it's going to find its way to the people that need it. And so if I can challenge you all to do that today, a 30-second video, one piece of information, post it right away, and then forget about it. Because a lot of us go back and look at it and criticize ourselves really hard on ourselves. Post it, forget about it, and then just let it do its thing. Because content is going to live forever. Some of the posts that we post here from this talk are going to get millions of views over the next 2 decades. So if you don't get more than 10 views today, it doesn't matter. Let it live, let it ride, and let it do its thing.
Perfect, perfect. All right, guys, that is the conclusion of our panel. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you want to tag any of us, we love to repost. If you took any value away, if you want to come ask us any questions today, we'd love to be in those videos with you. It's a lot of fun, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you guys.